That's
You're
what we're doing.
such a troublemaker, Joe Giglio.
I know.
My
Rabble
good
rousing.
God, the only person I know in the entire city of Philadelphia is questioning the quarterback.
You know what? I'm
dare
a
you.
man on an island over here, questioning a quarterback with 5 turnovers in a game Monday. All right, Rhea, where are you on Jalen? We opened today with the idea of, all right, is this just a slump, right?
Yep.
It's been 5 games. Now, Monday was the worst.
Yeah.
That was probably an outlier. He'll probably never do that again.
81 points, as Ruben Frank pointed out on his column, which is great.
Yep.
81 points in 5 games. It is the worst least amount of points scored since 2012.
And, of course, that year they switched quarterbacks from Vic to Foles, and then everyone was out of here after that season.
Yeah.
Andy and Vic and all that. All right, so is this a slump, 5 weeks of bad play, or do you think he could be regressing here as a player?
So there's 2 things, and Hugh, I heard you use the word evolve, which is if you're not evolving, you're regressing.
Because everyone else is moving forward.
Exactly. Yeah. And, and I said it last week, and I'll say it again this week. If he is not using his legs, he is no longer special. Hugh's been around long enough. We said the same thing about Donovan. Yep. But Donovan had, he had the broken, ankle, and Donovan was a much better passer. I wasn't always the biggest Donovan fan, but
he had a better arm.
Much better arm.
Yep.
So if those, to me, that's a regression.
Yeah, and Hugh,
that's fair.
That's to me, that's the biggest thing. Like the legs versus arm, and there were so many games early in his career where he didn't have a great throwing game, but his legs got first downs. He ran, and now
the legs in overtime got if it doesn't get called back.
Yes.
That was huge. He needs both of them together, and I get lowering it this year. I was okay with that, but to not use it.
Especially on a night you're not throwing it well, you're turning it over.
Correct.
It's bizarre. Can we get to a couple answers from Jalen yesterday talking about, so he was asked about running and about his legs being part of all this. And let's unpack this. I just thought his answers were, I didn't really understand where he was going with his answer to the question. Here's Jalen on his running and legs and ability to play the position with or without them.
You haven't run with the same frequency as you have in the past. As we discussed over the past 5 years, that's part of kind of what makes you you. Can you be the quarterback that you've shown you can be if that part of your game is not at the same frequency as it's been in the past?
I think it comes down to finding ways to win. And so being able to find ways to win in multiple ways is what I think about first. And, winning comes through the change of coaching, maybe how a scheme evolves through that coaching change, and how things are delivered and what those strategies are in the midst of the game. But right now it's just about finding ways to go out there and find a way to win the game. And so I don't look at that and reflect on one area of my or everyone's game. It's a matter of getting it done, right? I think when we look at this last week, you look at the game for what it is and judge it as it is, but you got an opportunity to win it in the end. And so I'd rather put my focus on that and trying to take advantage of those opportunities when they come.
Okay. I'm going to need a whiteboard, a marker, and a diagram.
Well, we have thought of the whiteboard that's going to hang behind Hugh, like Woody Page used to have.
When I start to recklessly speculate, especially now, like this reckless speculation has been brought to you by the Mattress Warehouse, where you can use exclusive BedMax technology to find your perfect mattress.
A pro's pro.
I'll tell you, nobody does it like you.
Never. What'd you make of that comment by Jalen?
The first thing that jumped out to me was him blaming it on the coaching.
Yeah.
Like that. That's all I heard. Like all the filler, all the what you like
all
to call
That.
filibustering,
Yeah.
and I ain't heard nothing but hey, he blamed it on the coaching. Jalen's a smart dude, man. Like,
he doesn't say anything. He doesn't recklessly speculate.
No,
Let's put it this way.
He's clear and concise. I think that. I mean, that's kind of telling when you talk about a man who just on Monday night talked about how it was his fault.
Yeah.
And then on what? Wednesday? He's like, hey, you got to look at the coaching too. Like
he looked at the tape. Here's the funny thing is because and I everybody who looked at the tape has said the same thing, that there were positives there. And I do get that.
Yes.
But I think Jalen looked at the tape and went, hey, I was playing a lot better than I thought I did. No, dude, you turned the ball over 4 times.
See, that's the glaring thing about it, Rhea, is that. And I tried to tell my partner this, but he threw a pen across the room and he stood up.
I heard you were throwing pens yesterday.
So it was Tuesday.
I pulled into the grocery parking lot. I couldn't pull out. I was like, is this going to be a brawl? I got to listen.
So here's what happened. So on Tuesday, we come in after the 5 turnover game,
Yes.
right? And 3 minutes in, I got Douglas over here spinning positive. So I slammed my pen down. Now,
there's a rule, Douglas.
Did it fly at
Time and a
Hugh?
place.
Yes, but I didn't throw it at Hugh. That's a big difference.
In my defense, I'm still like, see what I'm talking about.
You have to, and now in a Sunday game, my rule for anything positive was always Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah, see?
When it's a Monday game, you got to hold that till like, your afternoon, your middays.
Yeah.
So you could do it middays on Wednesday.
But not Tuesday on a Monday
No,
night.
maybe at
But
noon.
wait, for real.
Yes.
I still have a football background, even though I've been doing this for a long
We
time.
still question
You
that.
do?
I still have a football
But I thought they took a lot
background.
of sacks away from you.
That we
They
did.
did.
Hugh, that was a long
and
time
I was
ago, let's be
trying,
honest.
like, that game was horrendous. But every time you watch a game like that, you're always taught to try to pull some positive out of it. And I'm like, well,
As a football player.
Yeah, and
Not
I
as
was
a talk
like-
show
yeah,
host.
not
Yes,
as a talk
okay.
show. I was like, oh,
I wanted,
'cause, you know-
I wanted to clearly
no,
establish
because as a talk
Let's
show
establish
host,
that.
the first one, oh, that's bad. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's going to be a rough one
Yeah.
tomorrow. And then I'm like, well, when you look at it, they moved the ball
They were
better.
moving the ball.
They moved
Correct.
the ball. And
Yes.
that's it was just like, I know you can't overlook the 5 turnovers
Yeah.
because that's what everybody's talking about. But they did move the ball
Well, yeah,
better.
because if they don't have 5, if maybe they have 2, they
win
win the game.
And then on top of that, Rhea,
Yeah.
you had 5 turnovers and you still had a chance
Still
to
had a
win
chance,
at
and you
the
made a
end.
poor decision. You know,
So I was trying to be nobody was trying to hear
nobody
that.
wants to hear it then. No.
No.
that.
Well, we now have a static drop that we play over Hugh, and we don't like what he's just like. Yeah.
Oh, it's like white noise?
Yeah. Well, sorry, Hugh.
He's like, shut up.
Oh, so
Shut
it
up.
will not be my radio. It will
No,
be Hugh.
yeah. be me.
This is only for you to know. Everyone else thinks it's their radio.
The part of that, the beginning part of that cut, I was interesting because I wrote it down in my notes before he got to the coaches, and then a bunch. I think about winning in multiple ways. Let me see. Where's the camera here? Multiple ways also include your legs.
Yes, they do. They do.
Yeah, that's
include
going to
your
hurt
legs.
for the rest of the day.
Good use of props.
Yes. Well, I mean, the part that's confusing is a few weeks ago there was a report from both Jeff McClain and Jimmy Kemsky that he had expressed not
Correct.
wanting to use
Yeah.
his legs. So, which is it? Like, if it is the coaches trying to protect him, okay, then maybe it's time for the coaches to take the training wheels off.
Sure.
Let's go win some
Yeah.
games. We got to make the playoffs here. But if it's him, then why are you saying the coaches are like that?
That's a weird quote.
See, it was a weird way to say it.
Yeah.
And that's the way I heard it because it's like,
Because
I've
on,
never.
on Monday after the game, somebody asked him about Sirianni being in the meetings, and he said he brought structure
Yes,
to it.
he seemed to praise it.
So he was complimentary of Sirianni.
Yeah.
Wait, well, I mean, since we're recklessly speculating in this
Here we
segment,
go. Yeah.
he's probably talking about Patullo. He's probably like when you we have so much that is going on with this team that we have to speculate about because we don't know, and that's what it probably feels like it was.
Am I allowed to reckless?
Always.
Is this the safe haven for recklessly
Absolutely.
speculating?
This
Yes.
is a safe space.
Okay, this is recklessly speculating.
Okay, let's hear it.
So, Jalen knows they already had that he and Sirianni have worked on their issues from 2 years ago. So he can't go back to that well.
Oh, we're done with that.
So
one.
he about to
and since
sacrifice-
Patullo's been getting a lot of criticism, not from me. I haven't gone after him once. I didn't. There was a couple of play calls I didn't like where they were in the game. Okay, so I took issue with those, but it's like, well, if everybody else is piling on Patullo, why can't I? Again,
Yeah.
recklessly speculating.
Well, it does take the heat off of him because everyone hates
Yeah.
Patullo anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why it's funny, the timing. And,
Yeah, it's
and
odd.
You have to. I've never heard a quarterback talk about the play calling. Like, and I know he's not directly saying it, but he's saying it indirectly.
Sure.
He's definitely saying it indirectly. On top of that, it's during a week where you didn't play well.
Yeah, you
And-
can't point the finger anywhere except yourself.
Yeah, and see, I know a lot of people aren't going to understand this, but play caller's been the play call in the last couple of weeks, and you've been winning, and it hasn't been an issue.
Yeah.
This is where you have to sit back and listen to what's being said. When he said, "Hey," and the one cut that sticks out to me that he said a while ago was the one where he was like, "It looks like I want it to look." So
I wanted to look.
yes,
Yeah.
he said how I want.
So
it
then
to
I
look.
can interpret that as he doesn't want to run.
Well, you can interpret like that's what I'm saying. This is
Yeah.
a recklessly speculation. This is this
Safe
form
space.
that we're in. This is
If
safe
the
space.
offense looks like he wants and he's not running as much, the only way I can
that's
look
where
at
I'm
it is he
going
doesn't
with
want to
that.
run as
And
much.
then
But I don't think it's also about the running. I also think
the
he's,
concepts.
3 of the interceptions came over the middle of the field, right?
Yeah, yep.
Definitely at least 2 of them.
Well, the first one did. The AJ one did.
The one where he didn't see the 300-pound lineman
Yes,
drop
that
into
one.
coverage.
Then he
Dropped
almost
right
threw
into
one
coverage,
earlier that
threw
the guy
right to him.
just
dropped
trapped.
it. Dropped it.
Yeah.
So it could be like I've avoided throwing there,
And then you wanted me
And
to.
now you wanted me to, and, I had a historic night turning the ball
It's not
over.
good when we're trying to recall where all the interceptions were. There were so many.
But here's the
like,
thing.
wait, which one?
If you're a quarterback and they're not playing the middle of the field, that's your sweet spot.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be uncomfortable. You got to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And that's what we're talking about, because if he starts making plays in the middle consistently, then it's going to open up stuff on the outside. It's going to open up the running game. Yeah. It's like, that's what you have to do. Remember a few weeks ago, Jason Avant said that Caleb Williams, they're throwing everything at him. And he's not getting everything, but you see the progressions. It's kind of the same thing.
They're forcing him to progress.
Yes,
Caleb, yeah.
we have a good enough defense where we could – it's unfortunate to say this because we got a quarterback that's 5 years in, but he has to evolve. He has to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
I played a cut this morning from Chris Long from his podcast where he said, this is a Super Bowl defense, and, if you could get to being a mediocre offense,
you'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
That's what I'm saying. That's why, Rhea, you have to – I feel like this. The game plan that you had last week, even though it produced 5 turnovers, it was pretty solid.
It was.
It was pretty solid. Yeah. And a lot of those, like – we were talking to Jason yesterday. He said, hey, man, the Raiders, they're going to blow some coverages. You have to take chances with the football.
You do know the Raiders lost to the Jags by only 1. They're one of the only 2 teams to beat the Patriots. That was in the opener.
That was the opening game.
They've in the 2 games against the Broncos, which have only been like in the past month and a half.
A little tighter.
3 points and then 7 points, and that one game that was by 7 points was 14-7 at the half, and they lost to the Bears by 1 point.
Oh no, they could be a problem.
Yeah, the Eagles can't expect that we're going to get right. Just because
they're not going to lay down.
No, nobody's laying down.
Nobody
and they're
does.
Looking at it, they're looking at it like this team can be had, but this is salvageable, and it's salvageable to me by being uncomfortable. This is a come to Jesus moment to me. This is where Jalen has to sit down. I don't think Jalen's cooked. Let me say that.
I don't think he's cooked because I've seen enough good out of him.
Yeah, but I think that he's comfortable. Now, that's the difference between being cooked and comfortable, because when you're comfortable...
What are you?
Well, I'm comfortable and comfortably cooked. Comfortably cooked.
He's wearing a hat with eyes on it, so you got to be very comfortable.
He's comfortable,
in your own skin.
yeah.
But it's one of those things where, okay, say for the sake of this conversation that all the stuff that's being said about Jalen is true.
Yeah.
Then he needs to deal with that head on. Maybe have a conversation with the folks. Say, hey man, I've been a Richard, and I need to be a better person. And
you can change, like, I mean, I'm a little bit older than him.
Mm-hmm.
I had to change like everything.
Mm-hmm.
When I swithed over, and Joe and John took me in.
Sure,
I had to change the way I did everything.
Yeah,
and it wasn't an easy, transition. But like I love it now. Like I'm having the time of my life because it's fun.
Right.
So you this whole thing. Well, he's 6 years and he can't change. Yeah, anybody can change.
Well, you can. I mean, look, and there's been quarterbacks that have been worse than him that have changed and gotten better. Look
Geno
at
Smith.
Sam Darnold, right?
Darnold,
right?
exactly.
Like, Jalen's had a better career than those guys, but they fell down, and then they picked Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Like they
who was the who was the quarterback from Penn State? He had like a really good year. Was it Kerry Collins?
Kerry Collins.
Wasn't he like really bad in the beginning?
Yeah.
He bounced around with the Saints in that, and then you get to the Giants.
Yeah. I mean, it can be done.
Yeah, well, he's got to want to do it though.
You have to.
That's what I'm saying.
Sometimes have to
This
just
is where-
change the way you, not just the way you play, but the way you behave in the office.
And that's where his legs come in, because I think when he was younger, his legs could get him out of trouble. Like
Yeah,
I'll just
of
run.
course.
I'm not sure what the defense is showing me. I'll run for the first down.
Yeah.
And now that's not happening, and that's what we saw